Hi everyone, welcome to 33 Founders. We have a really special episode for you today. We're here with Melani Gordon right before San Diego Startups Week's demo night. She's the founder of TapHunter.
Alright, so now whether you are a bar owner or just a beer enthusiast, you guys are making the whole experience of finding it seamless.
Yes.
So can you just start out then just by kind of describing what it is that you guys do exactly?
Yeah, so TapHunter's really two things. First, we're a set of online tools for the industry, for bars and restaurants to manage and market their beer, spirit, and cocktail programs, and soon wine. And then we're a consumer-facing app for the everyday enthusiast or someone who's looking to get into beer spirits. And we'll tell you where all the great quality product is around you, whether it's a bar, restaurant, bottle shop, whatever it is.
Yeah, just like any business, Melanie, for restaurants and bars, it's crucial to go mobile now. Mm-hmm. And you actually recently wrote a post saying that 88% of consumers who search for a restaurant or a bar will go there within 24 hours.
Yep.
So that's huge for companies.
Yeah.
How do you advise small restaurants to make that mobile shift?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the restaurants we're talking to don't even have a mobile-friendly website. And that's kind of a big deal, right? That you can't actually browse their menu online because it's in a crappy PDF that doesn't, translate very well to mobile. So when we're presenting them with what we do, and they see that they're able to reach people through mobile that are actively looking for what they're carrying, I mean, it clicks, right? We're still doing a little bit of education, but for the most part, a lot of our customers, bar and restaurant owners, are consumers of our app. Mm-hmm. And that's actually one of the biggest ways that we get introduced to bar owners is because they're using the app. That's pretty powerful, right?
That is.
How'd
really
you hear
powerful.
about us? Oh, well, I have your app. It's like, all right, okay.
It's not a bad way to do it. So do you give the same advice to larger companies like chain restaurants?
Oh, definitely. So we just recently, and we haven't even announced this publicly, but
33
BJ's
Founders
Restaurant.
exclusive.
Right? So we just closed a deal with BJ's Restaurant.
That's great, congratulations.
And we're in a beta period with them right now, and it's going really well. But just to give you a sense, most of our customers are 1 or 2 restaurant locations. And BJ's has 150 locations across the U.S., so it's pretty big. And so they're an enterprise company. They're huge, and they have a lot of the same needs as even some of the younger restaurants. So it's helping to spread those best practices across the small restaurants and the big restaurants, right?
And so now, as far as online marketing goes, is there a best practice or best strategy for breweries or restaurants?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that we love is new brewery brands, or just new breweries that are launching. It's crowded. It's a crowded marketplace to open a new brewery right now. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people doing it for all the wrong reasons, but the ones who are doing it for the right reasons, the ones that launch with a thoughtful brand and take charge on Instagram and bring potential new consumers along the way as they're building out their facility or their business, we see that they tend to have a really great launch, right? Versus the ones that don't put a lot of thought into their brand. It's really ugly, it's not engaging, right? So ironically enough, Modern Times is one of the ones that did that. Their brand, I mean, when's the last time you saw a beer can that's white and it's very,
and looks awesome?
Yeah. And so I've been engaged with these guys before they even started making beer, right? Before they even had a product. And then when they launched and the product's amazing, it's like I'm a fanatical Modern Times, person.
Fan, yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys recently closed your first round of funding. Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And one of your strategies is to get 50 no's.
Yes.
I don't want to be told no 50 times, but can you tell us about that strategy and how it worked for you?
Yeah, I mean, so one of the things that is in my blood and my DNA is I come from a sales background. So I got my start in 2000 in local commerce selling online marketing and web services to SMB, to small business. And so I'm a salesperson at heart, but that's not everyone, right? Not every CEO and or founder or tech startup founder has that sort of sales DNA. So I've just been really blessed and lucky that, I know how to take no's. And so I realized that in meeting a lot of founders, not only in San Diego, but that was really scary for people. And, writing about it and sharing that that's what you have to do. It's just like building your sales pipeline. It's a numbers game. The more people you get in front of, the more customers we get in front of, the more you're going to close. So that's kind of where that philosophy comes from.
50 no's.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's all about resilience then in sales.
Yeah, and people are out there fundraising for their businesses. It's 10 times harder than I ever thought it was going to be, right? I knew it was going to be hard, but it was very difficult. And I think that what founders who are trying to raise their first seed round or even a big, VC round, they don't see it as a numbers game. They get a few no's and it's like the end of the world. Right. Yeah, you have to build your pipeline, right? And I call it building your people pipeline, regardless if you're raising money or recruiting for your company.
And so when you're pitching then, is it okay to drink? Does your pitch get more beautiful as you, how's that work?
Yeah, I mean, it's so fun because we're not just like a boring technology company, right. We're in a fun industry, so I have the benefit of just showing my personality, and not having to like hold back from that. I've had a few investor meetings over lunch and dinner, and I definitely am not shy to order a beverage. I love bourbon and whiskey, and I love ordering like a stiff bourbon drink and just like getting a reaction, because most of the people I'm pitching are men. Yeah, most of the people I'm pitching are men, and I'm a huge bourbon person, so I love it. I just kind of own it.
That's your model. Get out there and hustle.
Yes.
I was very curious about this, and I've been telling Chase about it. When you start a company and things get stressful, is that something that you internalize? Do you tell your team? Is it just
how do you keep your team up?
You and your co-founder, especially for you and your co-founder is your husband.
Oh my gosh, there is this great post on Quora from the CEO of a company called eQuire that he posted on Quora, and it just blew up, right? And the question was, what is it like to be the CEO of a tech startup? And I get the chills talking about it. His 8 paragraphs steps through every single journey that I have felt. And one of his analogies that he used is, you master the duck. You're calm and cool on the top, and you're paddling like hell underneath. I mean, think of that visual. And so, the stresses and just the world on my shoulders, I feel that every day. And so I read that, and my co-founder, who's my husband, shared it with me because he knows that. And I just had tears streaming down my face because he knew that it was like that person sharing their story. I'm like, oh, wow, God, I do that. And so it was just reassurance, like, I do feel like a duck, and it's okay because, like, that's pretty normal, right? So in terms of keeping the team up, it is. You're calm, cool, and collected on the top. And you might be paddling a little harder under the water some days, and some days you're not.
So you don't share your personal struggles, though, but do you share your company's struggles?
Totally. So one of our core values of our company is complete transparency. And so we'll share as much as we can about our company. But of course, like personally, it's very hard, right? It's pretty lonely when you're looking around, and it's like you're around these people every day. And I'm not just turning to, my marketing and customer support person who sits this close to me, right? You got to put your poker face on.
So on the note of who you work with, you're very lucky to work with your husband. What's that dynamic like? Can you give advice to other people who are working with their spouse or just working in a family business?
Yeah, I love it. We wouldn't have any other way. What most people don't know, this is actually our 3rd time working together. So this isn't new to us. And one of the biggest benefits that we have, because a lot of our friends are founders, but their founder is not their spouse. And so we see hard work that gets put in and the struggles that they have when they're working long hours, but their family suffers.
Very true.
Right? This is a very real thing that people don't talk about. And people sometimes say, oh, isn't it harder being, married founders? And it's like, no, it's a huge benefit. Like, I get to work with you and see you every day. And then the other thing that really makes it work for us is we're completely different. We're opposite personalities, and then we know what each other's roles are, right? Okay. So we have this very strong level of trust. And we trust each other, but we have very separate roles.
That's a great piece of advice. And then, does work come home with you guys, or does work stay at TapHunter headquarters?
So it depends. We've had our ups and downs in balancing that. The number one rule when we started this company and launched all the business tools 2.5 years ago was that our marriage comes first. Neither of us ever wanted to wake up and say, oh, I'm married to my business partner, right? So our marriage is number one. So we do 2 things. We have date nights once a month, and we switch, and it's a surprise. And it can be something super cheap because, It's not
We're
like we're doing
startup
extravagant.
founders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is phenomenal. And then the second thing is we'll go on all-out sprints like for 3 or 4 months, and then we have to take a break. So if it's a long weekend or whatever it is, and we got that from Brad Feld. He wrote a book called Being Married or in a Relationship with an Entrepreneur. Yep. And so we that's the other thing that really helps us.
And I know you guys also do the Bill and Melinda Walk, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's been less so because what's happened now is he stays up super late and I get up really early. So we've kind of like our schedules have really shifted over time. And we used to do that all the time and we weren't doing date nights, right? So we've kind of just switched from Bill and Melinda walks to, surprise date nights once a month or whatever. So the rule at date night is we're not allowed to talk about our company, but because business is such a big part of our lives, we're allowed to talk about other people's. And of course, it's forced us to talk about tons of other stuff. But the rule is we're not allowed to talk about our company or our team.
Yeah, that's how our friendship works pretty much.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right, so now how can our audience get in touch with you? How can they start using their app right away?
Yeah, so you can download our app for free on iOS or Android. We're in 25 different cities, and we help guide you where you can find great beer, spirits, and soon cocktails. And if you're a bar or restaurant owner looking to, sell more of what you have, then we're a great tool for you.
And the website is just taphunter.com, right? Awesome. Thank you so much,
Great.
Melanie.
Thanks,
All right,
guys.
cheers.
Cheers.
We are good.
There you go.
Cheers.